powers are not a gift, but a curse.
Let's catch up on Black Adam. As the fall season cools things down, theaters are heating up with the release of Black Adam, so we're gonna break down everything that you need to know about that. Let's be honest, trying to figure out when a DC movie is coming out is like chasing a moving target. But at this point, I think it's safe to say that the Black Adam theatrical release date of October 21st is good to go. And of course, we know that Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, after much prodding from fans and plenty of work on his end, is finally taking the mantle of Black Adam. It's like we all get to finally smell what he's been cooking up for the last 8 years. Black Adam is an anti-hero of sorts who was enslaved for 5,000 years for pursuing justice his own way in a place called Kahndaq, before being unleashed in modern times. Black Adam was directed by Jaume Collet-Serra, mostly known for directing horror films like House of Wax and The Shallows, plus a few Liam Neeson thrillers. But that background is actually pretty perfect given Black Adam's complicated status as someone who can be good, but also very bad. Kinda like The Rock's previous career as one of the most famous wrestlers of all time. And now, here's proof that I literally sat 9 inches away from his face and asked him about it. Because Black Adam, straddles that line of good and bad in a similar way that you did in your wrestling days, turning from a face to a heel a few times. Yeah. Did you feel close to that wrestling character at all or tap into it to sort of get that balance of good and bad for Black Adam?
Oh, that's interesting. Yes, it wasn't my lead foot when thinking about the character and standing him up on its feet and breathing life into him. But no doubt my experience as a pro wrestler where I would continuously straddle the line of good and bad, and eventually it got to a place in that world of pro wrestling where it was just an accepted thing that when the character of The Rock comes out, he'll do things that might be questionable, but at the end of the day, everyone in the arena understood why. And that's how they left. So same thing, very similar to Black Adam. You may not agree with his philosophy, but at the end, you do understand why.
So there may or may not be a people's eyebrow in this movie. I actually asked him that too, so you'll have to watch the rest of the interview to find out what he says. Along with getting to know my new best friend Dwayne in this movie, we will also be introduced to the idea of a group called the Justice Society of America. The original members in the comics included Green Lantern and the Flash, along with Dr. Fate, who will be showing up in this film played by James Bond himself, Pierce Brosnan. People are so stoked on Dr. Fate that some fans are already calling for a solo film. And the leader of JSA is Carter Hall, aka Hawkman, an archaeologist who is the reincarnation of the Egyptian prince who originally enslaved Black Adam. Now, he's played by Aldous Hodge in this movie, and let's just say putting on the Hawkman suit was a pretty darn big deal for him. When you saw the trailer, there's this epic moment where we see Hawkman's wings.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to see yourself suited up for the first time?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, for me, I was waiting on the wings. I've been wearing that suit for months, and I was like, ooh, better be ready. Because, you can only imagine sort of the grandiose nature of what it is. You're sitting there. First of all, the day that we all got to set, we all saw each other in our suits. We were like, oh, it's real. It's like, cool. You know what I mean? It's happening. But then when you see it all put together, you see the trailer, that's when your imagination completely explodes. And you know when you're working on it that this is something truly incredible. But this is something that you work on it and then you watch it, you really get to be a fan. You get to be a kid again because your mind is really just going all crazy with what you've actually accomplished. The magnitude of what you've accomplished is so huge. And it is really, truly one of those dream come true type of deals. So for me, first time I saw it full out, I was kind of floored, speechless, taken back because now you're a part of something that is truly in its essence, in its full essence, something that has the power and will and can change the notion of perception, perspective, ideas, belief, representation. This is what the value of the work is that we do art in its purest form. We get to influence and inspire. And that's something that, this inspires true imagination. It inspires belief and inspires ambition to go push for those dreams. So when you see that costume, for me, it's more than just putting on a suit. Yeah. It's putting on dreams. You know what I mean?
Wow. That was so beautifully said. I mean, those are some beautiful words. I would have been like Peter Pan, you can fly! Also, part of the JSA in Black Adam is Maxine Hunkel, aka Cyclone, played by Quintessa Swindle, and whose powers include controlling wind and generating sound. Not to be confused with Cy the mascot for the Iowa State Cyclones, who have no powers to speak of. Another JSA-er coming to the big screen in this one is Adam Smasher, played by Noah Centineo, who can manipulate his own size and strength, meaning that he can grow really big, like really, really big. Here's what he had to say about it. Noah, when I watched the trailer, the first thing I wanted to ask you was, what is it like being bigger than The Rock? And did Kevin Hart ask to borrow your powers?
Good.
Well, first and foremost, I started calling Dwayne the Pebble. When I was
Don't
bigger.
encourage that, Naz. Don't encourage. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
That was funny. Don't ever call him that, though. And if that seems like a lot of potential good guys and or anti-heroes, well, it's worth noting that Marwan Kenzari is slated to play the big bad Ishmael Gregor, aka Sabak, who is the reason that Black Adam may have to team up with the JSA to try and take him down. Beyond that, and getting a bit of an origin story of sorts for Black Adam and the others, we don't really know much else about how the story is going to play out, but we do know that Dwayne has hinted at the appearance of Superman in this film on numerous occasions. At DC Fandom, he said that, quote, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. And when he was asked at Comic-Con this year if Black Adam will ever battle Superman, he said, quote, it depends on who plays him.
Before a world of heroes and villains, one power ruled it all.
Black Adam.